So, you want to start flying FPV drones, but don't really know how or where to start.
Well, I've been there, but guess what?
I got you. So since starting my FPV journey, I've been quite fortunate to be working on some of the most amazing projects, ranging from landscapes to music festivals to sports, you name it, I've probably done it. And one thing that was always very clear for me from the start was to make it as easy as possible for yourself, particularly with FPV, which can be quite overwhelming in the start. You don't want to lose that motivation, that initial spark. So I'm going to show you step by step on how to do just that. So let's kick off with the first part where we all start, the simulator. In the simulator, you get to practice what it's like to fly FPV, and the beginning will be quite daunting because you will crash a lot, but that's completely fine and is part of this journey. So you want to understand the physics a bit better, and taking off, landing, flying forward, backwards, up and down are all part of that. As you soon realize, FPV is completely different than flying regular drones, so you want to spend a fair bit of time in there. I personally started with the sim called Velocity Drone, which to this day is known to be one of the more realistic ones, which kind of applies the real physics of the real world. And I personally believe this is definitely a good start because you don't want to start learning in a sim that doesn't really reflect of what it's like to fly in the real world. The sim is around $30, I believe, and it's definitely worth the money because in there you get to understand the basics a bit better, and you can just start out with a PS5 controller or even the PS4 controller when I started out. But speaking of controllers, this brings me to my next part, which is which remote control should you get?
Welcome to Tango 2.
This is exactly the remote control I highly recommend you guys to start out with, called the TBS Tango 2 by the brand called Team Black Sheep. And it is known for its great connectivity, compact size, and connects to a receiver called Crossfire, which allows you to fly at long ranges with your FPV drone. Because remember, we want to make it as easy as possible for you guys. And with this remote control, you have pretty much everything in one. Great connectivity, sleek design, super lightweight, and it's probably the industry standard for a lot of people in the industry. And it's super easy to set up and connect this remote control to your quad. And of course, you can connect this remote control to your computer and practice with it in the simulator as well. And the next thing on the list is now to get yourself a new pair of eyes. Let me introduce you to the goggles. With the goggles, there's two routes to go about this. There's the analog route and the digital route. The analog route is more for people who are actually keen on getting into FPV racing, whereas the digital route is more for people who are keen on creating content with FPV drones. The goggles are probably the most important part of your kit, as these are your eyes that you are seeing live as you're flying. So you want to invest into a good pair of goggles, and I highly recommend to go with the DJI goggles 2. These are my pair of goggles that I've been using now for over a year or so. I actually initially started with the DJI V1 goggles, which, as you can see, they're quite bulky. Don't get me wrong, they're still great quality. However, the DJI goggles 2 are the newest on the market, and if you're starting out, I always recommend to invest into a good set of goggles to begin with, because you want to have the best viewing experience, and it will further drive you to stay consistent with this new craft that you're trying to pick up here. So big fan of these goggles, and they will give you lots of joys, particularly when you get to see for the first time what it's like to fly FPV.
Wow!
And with that, you probably already guessed it, it's time to discuss which drone should you actually start out with. There's two ways to go about this. You can either build your first drone, or you can purchase a B&F quad, which stands for bind and fly, and there's a drone that's pretty much ready to go when you purchase it. A lot of people usually suggest to start out with building your first drone, because that way you'll be able to repair it in case of a crash, which is likely to happen, particularly in the beginning when you start out flying. You will crash a lot, so it's of course good to be able to repair in case of a crash. However, I do believe it is better to start out with a drone that is already pre-built and it's ready to go when you purchase it, because once again, you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself. Now, in the world of FPV, size does matter. This means don't start with something like this, as this won't give you the FPV experience that you're truly after, particularly in the beginning. It's also much harder to fly a drone of this size compared to a bigger drone. So instead, I highly recommend to start with a 5-inch drone. For example, this one here is the iFlight Nazgul Evoke, a drone that I've been using for years now and has been really trustworthy and is my go-to drone to any of the content that you see on my channel. And I know in the beginning it may be a bit daunting to start out with something like this because it is a fully fledged drone that can go up to 130 kilometers an hour, but it will give you the real FPV experience that you're after. And the earlier you start flying something like this, the sooner you will get better at it. And now that you have all the main pieces of equipment sorted, it's time to practice flying in the real world.
Now, when you practice in the real world, it is really important that you start in an area that is quite clear, like you can see here. There's not many trees around, and in case of a crash, you don't end up in a tree and you may not be able to retrieve it. Ideally, you have a friend with you who can be next to you while you fly because you are kind of immersed with the goggles. But the first thing that you should start practicing is throttle control and precise landing and flying. So what I mean by throttle control is that you want to make sure that you don't gain as much height. And that's something that you are likely to be doing when you start out because you try to feel safer the higher you go. So make sure you do a little bit of input on the throttle so you just hover above the ground, maybe 2 to 3 meters, so you're in control. And then also whilst you do this, the next step is to learn how to precise land. Ideally, you have maybe something like this here, a landing mat, which is a bit fancy, but you get the point. With a landing pad, you'll be able to really practice to land as close as possible onto the mat, or ideally, of course, right in the bull's eye. And that way you can practice and learn how to safely land, which is really important when you fly FPV because you don't want the drone to go out of control. And remember, consistency is key, content is king. So once you feel a bit more safe behind the sticks and have more confidence in flying, I highly recommend you to strap an action camera to your drone because that way you can start capturing content with it and be able to review later in post what you can do better or where you have improved. Keep in mind, crashing is part of the journey, so don't let that discourage you, and if anything, it should push you further to improve. And if there's something that you particularly are not able to nail in the real world, go back into sim. There's nothing wrong with that. Practice it more there and then apply it to the real world.
And that's it, guys. This is how you can get started with flying FPV drones. And if you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comments so I can get back to you guys. Or if you're just starting out and have some sort of footage that I could review, tag me in your work. I'd love to check it out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let's go.